Ghosts. Would I say that I believe in them? I've had a couple of weird experiences in my 19 years of life, as well as numerous stories from a friend of mine who wouldn't go out of his way to lie, and it all has me leaning to the possibility that they just might exist. Every now and then, my friends and I will fall into deep conversation and share our experiences that we really don't know how to explain because the circumstances seem rather impossible, and we really play with the thought that these experiences were the result of some sort of paranormal force. Since we're coming up on Halloween, I thought that I would tell you, my dear audience, 3 little stories from my life that I find odd. Stories that stick out from all the rest. Stories that make me sit there and think, what even was that? Story 3. So around Christmas time in 2020, I was getting ready to hang out with my friends. I got all packed up and ready to go, and I was heading to the front door of my house when I heard the familiar noise of my parents' room door shutting. Now this door had a very distinct noise. And when I heard it, I just assumed it was either my mom or my dad. So I yelled out, "I'm leaving. I'll see y'all later." I heard nothing and walked outside, and sitting on the porch were both of my parents. I kinda paused for a moment, and then I spoke. "Hey, I heard the door to y'all's room shut. Is brother home? No? Huh. Well, someone shut your door. I heard it. I'ma head out." And when I got home the next day, I asked my mom and dad about it, and they said no one was in the house and that I probably just imagined it. But I know what I heard. Moving on to story 2. So when I was little, about 7 or 8, my bedroom was set up with my bed directly aligned with my doorway entering my room. And I didn't have a door at the time, so I was just able to stare into the hallway. It was late into the night, and I'd just woken up to the sound of someone walking through the hallway. I listened for a minute longer, and it turned out it was just my dad going to use the bathroom. After a couple of minutes, he walked back into his room, which was at the end of the hallway, directly to the left of my room's entrance. Now, I specifically remember hearing his footsteps disappearing down the hallway, and hearing his door open and shut. Like I said before, it's a very specific noise, and it's ingrained into my head. Then there was silence, and then from around the corner emerged a head looking directly into my room. I couldn't make out any features, although my eyes had adjusted to the dark. I looked at it for about 30 seconds, and little kid me just chalked it up to it being my father, even though I heard him enter his room and shut his door. I don't remember the head ever moving away, just sort of sitting there frozen. I didn't say anything either, just closed my eyes and went back to sleep. Morning came, and I walked out to the living room where my father was having his coffee. I sat down and asked him if he was the one who looked into my room last night. "No, bud, I didn't look into your room." "Huh, okay." And it's one of those things that's just kinda stuck with me. I have saved the weirdest for last. I was in middle school when this happened. I decided to have my buddy Isaac come over to my house and spend the night. He, my brother, and I sat in my room playing video games on my PS4 late in the night, as we usually do when he came over. Eventually, we started to quiet down for the night, and I started hearing a weird noise coming from outside my window. I took a moment to really listen, and it was what sounded like flute music being played very softly. I spoke up to my friend and my brother. "Do y'all hear that too?" We all got really close to the window and we listened very closely. And it was confirmed by both of them that we were indeed hearing a soft sound of a flute being played from outside. We thought it was pretty strange, but didn't give too much thought about it. An hour or two later, we decided it was time to turn in for the night. Come the morning, I was getting out of bed and was greeted by my brother asking me why I was in his room last night. I told him that I wasn't, and he went on to go about how he woke up in the middle of the night to someone standing in his room. Thinking it was me, he tiredly said, "Blank, get out of my room." And apparently whatever it was just walked out into the hallway, out of sight. I know I sure as heck never went into his room, and he still claims to this day that's what he saw that night. After hearing this, all 3 of us decided to name the mysterious apparition the Music Man. Halloween is drawing near, and I hope you enjoyed my 3 stories. Until next time,